Hello, hello, hello. Today is January 5th, 2023. It's the first visit this year from Norm Winski. Norm, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Jeff, and Happy New Year to everyone. I thought, as usual, I would review what I forecasted when I was last on your show, Jeff, on December 19th. So, on that, let's see, December 19th was get my December calendar out here now. That was a Monday. And we had these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 8 points that I forecast. The night of the AC is after the close, so that would be overnight of the 19th, looking at the opening on the 20th. But we had Jupiter changing signs going from Pisces to Aries, and we have these markets indicated as a possible change in trend points: coffee, corn, gold, silver, sugar, and wheat. Then the morning of the 21st, that's AM, we had Mercury maximum elongation, a Mercury cycle. Anytime we have Mercury, we do the grains. So look at the grains: corn, soybeans, wheat. And then we had the night of the 22nd, we had a new moon in the sign of Capricorn. Anytime we have a new moon, full moon, we look at financial grains, precious metals, and because it was in the sign of Capricorn, we also run an extra thing here with coffee, running a special on coffee. Then the night of the 20, that was a weekend, the night of the 23rd after the close, Venus was apihealing. Here's your Venus markets: cattle, copper, and because it's apihealing related to the sun, also throw in the sun markets: corn, and then cotton's Venus, gold is sun, sugar is Venus, and wheat is Venus. So then the night of the Monday night, the night of the 27th, we have Pluto return to make a Pluto contact with the U.S. natal chart. That's based on when the country was founded on July 4th, 1776. And anytime we have it into the U.S. chart, that's U.S. stocks, T-bonds, U.S. dollar. And then the night of the 28th, we had a Mercury cycle. So we look at corn, soybeans, wheat. And then it was a double Mercury thing there. This is very rare for Mercury to hit zero latitude and for Mercury to turn retrograde on the same night. That's very rare, and that should be a high confidence turning point for the grains. And because on this second one here, it was in the sign of Capricorn, we also throw in, take a look at coffee. See how that worked out? And then we had a Pluto to the U.S. chart. This is extra interesting because Pluto returned to where it was on the 4th of July in 1776 as a 248-year cycle on average. And so that doesn't happen very often. So something big is going on here with the U.S. This is actually going on over a 2-year period or so. So here's your corn. We had quite a few points for the corn here. Let's see if I can remember them all now. But we had started out with Jupiter in the Aries. That was good. That was right near that low there. Then the Mercury point there on the morning of the 21st, that was a miss. That's a red arrow, and the Mercury just kept going up, so that's a miss. Then it pulled back, though, into our next Mercury point, which was the new moon. And on the opening of the 23rd, that was a really good pullback low there. Then we had a nice up, and then we had a miss there on the morning of the 27th with the Venus aphelion. But then we had near the high of the month right there on our double Mercury date there on the opening of the 29th. And then you can see corn then took a big dive a few days later. So overall, we did a little better than 50-50 on that. Here's the beans. Were even better. We had 4 points for the beans. You had the Mercury point there with a little top there, and then pulled back into the new moon, and then up for our double Mercury window there, and that was just ahead of that top there, and then a big pullback in the soybeans. And here's your wheat, also very good. We had a pullback low there on our first point there with Jupiter in the Aries. Then we had this is kind of all going sideways for a day, so we do nothing there. Yellow is a pass, and it's not making really a high or low there. And then a pull back into the moon for a low, and then up for that point there. Let's see, that was the 27th, was the, oh boy, 27th. We had the the Venus aphelion there into the morning of over the long weekend there into the, and then we had the right there. Oh, I think and then we had that I'm on the wrong chart now. Sorry, that was right there, Venus, and then the double Mercury thing here. Mercury, we is both Venus and Mercury, and so there you had that top there just ahead of one day ahead of that top there, and then a big down. Okay, so cotton, we only had 1 point for cattle, and it was going sideways into our window there with the Venus point. And then we have the cotton here. Let's go, had a little bounce high there right on our Venus point, so that made a little bit of money. Here's coffee. We had 3 points for coffee. You had the, I think a Mercury point there, something there oh, no, I know, Jupiter in the Aries was hitting the coffee right there for a low, and then we went up for the Venus, Mercury in oh, I know, the new moon in Capricorn, and then the Mercury retrograde over here. So those were all winners. And then you had sugar, kept going on our first point there for sugar with Jupiter in the Aries, and then but our Venus aphelion point was right near the high of the month, so that was very good. And copper, they only had the 1 point there for copper, and that was, I think, the high of the month, the high day of the month there. And then silver pulled back into Jupiter in the Aries, and then also pulled back into for the new moon, and those were both winners. And there's your gold, had a pullback low there, Jupiter in the Aries, and also over here with the new moon, and then but that missed when it didn't turn there on the Venus aphelion. Here's your S&P. We had potentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points. 6 of those were winners, just to make it quick, and that was a pass there. So those all worked out nicely. 6 out of 6 active points there for the S&P. Here's your bonds. Had a little rally into the moon, and then dropped into our U.S. point there. We had one U.S. point here, and it kept going down for another day. And then we had that point there for the U.S. and then it went up. So that was 2 out of 3 on the bonds, and the dollar was excellent. We hit 3 out of 3 on the dollar. If you like currencies, the currencies tend to turn on the new moons, and also on the U.S. dollar. We use that U.S. chart for the U.S. dollar too. And then here's the currency land here now with the Aussie dollar pulling back and nicely into the new moon, and then a big rally. And the British pound just went sideways. It didn't care about the moon, but you didn't, even if it's not a winner, but it's not, you might have taken a small loss there. The Canadian dollar also pulled back into the moon, and so that was a winner. And you had a little pullback for the euro into the moon, and then it went up. And then the yen is the only one that really might have cost you a little bit, and that just kept going down. And then the Swiss franc also pulled down into the moon and then rallied. So that's, if you count up the green arrows and the red arrows, we have 38 winners, 7 misses out of 45 for 84.44%. Here's something that I did not show you last time, but I do this every month. I've been doing this for, I don't know, 40 years or more, maybe 45 years or more, where I draw if you know the Bradley model, it's sort of inspired by Bradley. But I changed the Bradley model a whole bunch back in the 70s when I first started doing this. And so I draw this blue line for the month coming up for the whole month. And then at the end of the month, this was for December, we're reviewing December. And then I overlay this is the S&P 10-minute bars on top of the blue line to see how we did. And you can see how this stuff works. Here's a full moon right there on that red arrow, and you make a low there. And here's a new moon, and then you make a low there, and then we have Mercury turning retrograde, and I think and I think this should made a low there too. So anyway, so generally follow the blue line fairly well. You did go off the tracks there a little bit, and then once it got back on the track, it tended to follow that pretty well. And let's see, moving ahead there, here's what's coming up, and why I asked Jeff to be on the show today, this evening. We have tomorrow night, and it's about 6 p.m. We're going to have a full moon in the sign of Cancer. So anytime we have a full moon, financial strange, precious metals, and because in Cancer, we'll be watching silver. And then the morning of the 9th, which will be Monday morning, Jupiter will be hitting the U.S. chart And so we have U.S. stocks, T-bonds, U.S. dollar. And then the night of the ninth, we have the U.S. chart. Neptune is involved here, so we're also going to watch oil in addition to our usual suspects, the usual of U.S. stocks, T-bonds, and U.S. dollar. And then the night of the 11th, we have Jupiter lining up with Saturn for coffee and copper. And then we have the Mars. Mars right now has been in retrograde for about 6 weeks and will be turning direct, stopping, going backwards, and turn to go forward the afternoon of the 12th. And that's what launched the stock market there. And the night of the 17th, which will be a Tuesday night, Mercury, which is in Capricorn, will turn direct and start going forward again. It's also going backwards, retrograde. And that's your coffee plus your grains, corn, soybeans, wheat. So that's the forecast. I'll keep this on the screen here for a minute. You can take a screenshot of that or watch the video on YouTube. Again, you can watch it over again. And there we go. Okay, so now we're going to move ahead. I've been doing this professionally for about 45 years or more. I started studying this stuff back when I was in high school, and I'm in 71 now, so that tells you I probably got over 50 years of experience. I did 12 years as a Chicago floor trader on the Chicago Board Options Exchange and the Chicago Board of Trade. So here we go. You can call me up, contact me, and I have a temporarily new phone number, and I'll tell you about that if you call me. But here's my number to reach me now: 239-216-2578. I also had to change my email. It's nwinsky, it's simpler now, nwinsky@yahoo.com, or you can call me on Skype for free at nwinsky_1. Looking forward to helping some of your folks, Jeff, and everybody. Have a happy New Year and a great week ahead.
Norm, great statistics as always. We'll see you back in a couple of weeks. We'll see how you did. I have no doubt you'll do just as well as you've always done.
Thank you very much, Jeff.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.